Hi everyone, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. After we have learned how social constructivism theory through the videos in the previous meeting, now we are going to move to the application or implementation of social constructivism theory in language teaching. So basically, we are going to discuss how to create tasks that are based on social constructivism theory. In this case, I would like to introduce you to task-based language teaching. So let's try to recall our memory about social constructivism, or I put here as SCT. It believes that using task is on language learning is part of social process such as classroom interaction. So, sangat tidak mungkin kita mengerjakan semua penugasan itu sendiri. Social constructivism believes that you must work with more knowledgeable others. Salah satunya with friends, with classmates, with the teachers. That is why social constructivism theory value classroom interaction a lot. And then social constructivism theory also believe in the relationship between theory and practice. So when you have teachers or when you become teachers and you only explain those of abstract things to your students without having the practical, without having practices, it means that you do not value social constructivism theory. So through praxis is the implementation of theory into practice. It is part of scaffolding. It is part of learning. So, praxis is central to a socio-cultural approach to second language learning and teaching. In our department, we implemented best practices as the report of PPL Sekolah. So, you are allowed to implement the theory of teaching methodologies, theory of SLA in the classroom so that you will have the praxis. When you as the teacher explain the concept of, for example, expression of asking and giving opinion, and then you ask your students to use that expression, then you do the praxis to your students. So social constructivism theory also believe about zone of proximal development. If you still remember the previous video, there are an illustration about a child, and then the child is put in a pond, and then there is the area that the child can work by himself, and then there are also the enhanced area when this child work with others, as known with more knowledgeable others. So who are more knowledgeable others? Right, so let's take a look for a while. Here, zone of proximal development itu maksudnya adalah zona di mana kita bisa memaksimalkan perkembangan kita. Jadi, social constructivism believes bahwa setiap orang itu punya kemampuannya sendiri dulu yang dia pelajari secara mandiri. Nah, dengan kemampuan mandiri itu, dia akan bisa berinteraksi dengan orang-orang lain, dengan apapun yang lain yang more knowledgeable di sekitar dia, sehingga perkembangan dia akan semakin baik. Jadi, bagaimana inner circle atau environment dia itu berpengaruh terhadap kemampuan yang sudah dia miliki sebelumnya. That is the zone of proximal development. Nah, zone of proximal development ini tadi bisa bisa disupport dengan more knowledgeable others. Who are they? Siapakah more knowledgeable others? Bisa, yaitu among peers, teman-teman seumuran, teman-teman sepermainan, teman dekat, itu disebut dengan peers. Kolega, itu juga peers. Terus bisa juga between teachers and students. guru dengan murid, dosen dengan mahasiswa, yang dianggap lebih tahu gitu. Jadi tidak selalu teachers and students aja gitu, tapi juga bisa peers-nya. Kemudian juga bisa among students, sesama teman sekelas. Jadi bedanya peers sama students, kalau peers itu bisa teman di luar kelas. Tapi kalau students itu sudah konteksnya di dalam kelas. Dan satu lagi, bisa juga dengan teknologi. Sekarang, for example, during the pandemic, there are many students, many people working with TikTok or Insta story, those of with social media, and we can learn from that as well. For example, I have known how to operate Excel, but then I watch TikTok videos about some elaboration, some features in Excel that I did not know before, so that I can enhance my ability in using Excel from my own understanding and then enhance with the social more knowledgeable others, which is TikTok video. So it can be from many things. So how tasks should be brought? There are many criteria. What should task be? It has to be goal-oriented. It has to be language-free activities, and this is the most important thing, authentic. Authentic means real world task. Tugas yang benar-benar bisa diaplikasikan di kehidupan sehari-hari. So, how is the cycle? We have pre-task and task, planning, report, language focus. If you still remember 5E in constructivism, so social constructivism require you to work with other students. Constructivism deals with self-scaffolding, while social constructivism deals with how society or social help you to scaffold. So, how's the example? Look at this. Take a look at Blake 2000. Who are the more knowledgeable others? So let's take a look. The task is by using jigsaw, and then decision making, and also to weigh information gap. And let's take a look. Jigsaw, it can be done without grouping. And then decision making can be done individually, but sure, you have to make it into group discussion first until you decide something, right? So in this case, we have jigsaw, negotiation, and then few syntactic negotiation and high degree of focus on task. So the more knowledgeable others here are students, among students. Okay, and then this part we have also the task here is open-ended discussion. This is also the more knowledgeable others here is among students. Similar but this open-ended discussion. And then the task itself is scaffolded. Jadi nggak boleh ngasih tugas kerjakan halaman 40 gitu. Nggak dikasih pre-tasknya dulu apa, nggak dikasih penjelasan dulu, nggak dikasih planning gitu, nggak bisa. So harus ada task cycle-nya. Jigsaw dulu, kemudian negotiation, kemudian ada few syntactic negotiation, baru high degree of focus on task. So, are you ready to create tasks that are based on social constructivism? Let's begin.